is up, YouTubers? It's RP189 and the voices in my head coming at you from the Duelist Den. And today we have our first ever Q&A video for the channel. And I put this forward to the Yu-Gi-Oh community on Facebook to see if there were any questions you guys wanted me to answer. And the responses I got were amazing. I got so many questions that I am breaking this down into a two-part video. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you find my answers both informative and entertaining. But before we get into the questions, got a little tongue-tied there, I do want to remind everyone out there to make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on that notification bell, and follow all the social media accounts which are linked down in the description box below so you can stay up to date with everything happening here at the Duelist Den. So let's go ahead and get into these questions. Let's hear the first question that I'm going to answer was put forth by my sister, Ashley Wagner. The question is, who is your favorite Yu-Gi-Oh character? Well, Ashley, I'd have to say my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh character is Old Man Bashford, merely because I can relate to this character more than any other character in any of the arcs. And the reason being is because, like Old Man Bashford, I don't really have a lot of contact with my kids because one of them lives halfway across the country and the other one is a whole nother ball of wax that I'm not going to get into. But anyway, point is, I understand how he feels, I understand his mindset, and why he doesn't want to leave his home. I really can relate to this character more than I can any other character in any of the arcs. The next question put forth by Dremit Garrison. What are new combos for Pendulum Magicians? Well, Dremit, I really don't play Pendulum Magicians all that much, but with Double Iris Magician and Skull Combat Joker being banned, I personally can't wait to see what they come up with to make their deck more consistent. Next question by Travis Fenning. What is my main goal in Yu-Gi-Oh? Well, my main goal, Travis, right now is just to get to Nationals and then get my invite to the World Championship. Those are my main goals right now, and I feel that's the main goal for a lot of people who play this game, at least competitively. But those are my main goals for right now, just so I can at least say that I have participated in a World Championship. Now, whether or not I win the World Championship, that's something I'm going to have to deal with once I get there. But for right now, my main goal is just to get to the World Championship. Jackie Williams put forth the question, what does Konami need to do to make tag duels as relevant in the TCG as they are in the OCG? Well, Jackie, there's a couple different ideas I have for this. First of all, they could promote tag duels better. Maybe by making them big side events in things like YCSs, or possibly even having an actual tag duel championship for Nationals and Worlds. That would be a great way, in my opinion, to really push tag duels to get more people interested in them. Another great thing that I've come up with is possibly releasing tag duel structure decks. Sort of like having two decks in a structure deck that work really well with each other that you can use in tag duels. Those are just some of my thoughts, though, on how to make tag duels more relevant here in the TCG. Brandon Ramirez put forth the question, favorite protagonist signature card. Now, if we're just talking about the one main character from each arc, I'm going to have to say it's Stardust Dragon, mainly because Stardust Dragon is a synchro monster, and synchros are, of course, my favorite summoning mechanic, and because 5Ds was my favorite arc. Forgive me if I'm saying your name wrong, but this question was put forth by Andreas Pineda Villarreal. I'm not sure if I'm saying that name wrong. Please forgive me if I am. The question is, what is the most noob question I have ever asked? Well, Andreas, I would have to say, and take in mind this was back during the first week I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Can I run 3 copies of Harpy Lady 1, Harpy Lady 2, and Harpy Lady 3, 3 copies of each, in a Harpy deck? The answer, of course, was no, but like I said, this was back during the first week I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Let's see here. Next, Alex DV, while we're on this topic of me just starting Yu-Gi-Oh!, put forth the question, why and when did I start playing Yu-Gi-Oh? Well, the when is way back in middle school, like 15 years ago, back when the game was first being released here in the States. The why is because a friend of mine named Brandon Reedy was playing the game. His parents owned a card shop. He was able to get us whatever cards we needed, and he wanted his friends to play the game with him. So he asked me and several of his other friends if we wanted to learn how to play the game so we could play with him. I, of course, said yes, and he taught me how to play. So that is the why and the when as for how I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! This is a very cool question. Sam Cox from Sam Cox Yu-Gi-Oh! And Team Bropire put forth this question. What is my favorite Harpy? My favorite Harpy, I would have to say, is Harpy Dancer, merely because she looks a lot like my fiance. Speaking of which, I love you, honey. Happy Valentine's Day. Next question put forth by Clarence Brock. Why is Time Seal still banned? Because it is, dude. Because it is. But if you want a more in-depth answer to that question, Time Seal, for those of you who don't know, here's the card. It prevents your opponent from conducting their next draw phase. Now, this is a very broken effect in any format. Even more so, I think, now with the draw and lock combo in Trick Stars. I mean, think about it. You draw and lock your opponent and then stop them from having their next draw phase. They're just fucked. Let's see here. Marty Glenn asks, what are your thoughts on the format, top decks, and road decks? Well, my thoughts on this format, I mean, we're really just getting into this format. The format started on the 5th. It's the 14th, so it's been about a week and a half since this new format started. Personally, I feel it's going to be crazy. I mean, we have Bottomless at 3, we have Torrential at 3, Solemn Judgment's unbanned. Hell, Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning is at 3. We have Monster Reborn unbanned. I mean, this format is just going to be off the wall crazy, guys. So here, next question, put forth by Carlos Alexis Arroyo. What type of advice would you give someone running Monarchs? Stop running Monarchs. That's all the advice I'm giving you. Okay, next question by Patrick Ward. Given the new format, which older decks do you think could have a bit more competitive play? Well, Patrick, there are really only two older decks that I think could. And these are the two decks that first popped into my mind when I seen the new ban list. Those decks are, of course, Hat or Hand Artifact Trap Tricks decks, merely because A, Bottomless is at 3 and the Trap Tricks cards can search them out, and B, Artifacts now have their full engine back. So I feel that Hat could be a very, very viable deck, and it's a very, very budget deck too. So it could be, we could see this deck making a huge splash yet again. The second deck, and I may be a little biased on this one, is of course Harpies. And the reason I say that is because, like I said, we have Bottomless at 3, we have Torrential at 3, we have Solemn Judgment back. I mean, we are going to be going into a very back row heavy format, at least in my opinion. I think that's what's going to happen. And Harpies are very good at getting rid of back row. So I think Harpies could see a huge splash again as well. The next question put forth by Blake Dean. Why do people think Pot of Desires is good? It's a +1, dude. What else do you need? Actually, personally, I feel it's a neg 9. I mean, it's a neg 9 and a +1 roll. It's a real confusing fucking card. But in my opinion, it is a necessary evil. Good, whether the card is good or bad, right now it's a necessary evil. Let's see here. Next question put forth by Brandon Yaj. Is Zodiacs or Spirals at full power? That's a tough one. That's a really good question, and I have no idea. Personally, I hate both the fucking decks. But if I had to make a guess, I'd say Zodiacs might have a bit of an edge there. Oh, I don't know. This is a tough question, Brandon. I'll get back to you on that one. Alright, the final question for this video, and this is a Duel Links specific question, is what's the one feature you wish they would add both in duels and on the main screen in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links? Well, as far as in duels, the one feature I think they should add is give us the 5 fucking zones. Alright? Enough with this fucking 3 zone shit. Give us 5 zones in the main phase 2. That's what they need to do. As far as main screen, I don't know. I personally, I feel the main screen on Duel Links is very, very good. You can access pretty much anything you need to on the main screen. I think it's very good. So I don't really think anything needs to be added to the main screen. But as far as it in the actual duels, They need to give us 5 zones and give us the main phase fucking 2. That's what they need to fucking do in Duel Links. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Until next time, guys, it's Harpy Hunter 89 and the voices in my head. Just wanted to say, keep a lookout for part 2 of this video tomorrow, and that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not just a game, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is life.